Estate agents should start listening to the many and not the few. Today, I'm joined by Natalie Barton, who is head of digital at Propertymark. And she says that as an industry, it would be better if we listen to a wider range of people at all levels rather than those at the top. Wow, talk to me.
Well, Chris, for a start, I'm going to pull you up here because I'm not head of. I am far, far, far lower down the ladder than head of anything. I'm just, I'm a digital communities and marketing officer.
Okay.
I'm on a
Just a name, it's just a title.
It's just a title. It's also a pay grade, you know. It's a responsibility. But we're so used to talking to people who are head of, manager of. How many big boss people have you had sat on this sofa?
Lots.
Lots, because they've got great stories and they've got great insights.
I've also had negs as well.
You have had next, but proportionally, it's big boss person.
Well, what is particularly interesting is that the top, they should say, the top 25 estate agents, CEOs, probably I've only had 3 or 4 of them. Most of them won't come on the sofa.
Scared.
Yes.
Yes.
Mostly one man, one woman bands or groups of agents. And not so many negs, but doesn't matter whether you're a neg or so. If you've got an interesting story, nobody pays to sit where you are.
No.
It costs me money to hire the studio and have it edited. So as long as you've got an interesting story, you've got something. But if you're not telling the story, how can you get on my radar?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, it's partly down to who we listen to, but everybody has a platform these days, so everybody can be proactive.
Yes, with their mobile phones.
Yeah, social media has got the power in your hands. You've no longer got to wait for somebody to give you authority to talk. You've got a platform.
I mean, I can remember before you got the job at Property. I mean, Mark. I mean, let's be honest. You got that job because of what you did with your social media before, and using your words, you were lowly is the wrong word, but you were just, and again, I don't say it in a derogatory way, a good old lettings neg in a Norfolk town.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And now look at you. You're ninja of digital communities or something. What a mouthful that is.
Talking to people.
I'm gonna have that word. Rachel don't like that title, but yeah, no, that's just my opinion.
It looks better.
I think social media ninja would be better.
Social media ninja sits on Facebook and LinkedIn and
too right. So anyway, sorry, go on.
But so people have this, they don't have to wait for the authority anymore, but there's still...
Interesting you say authority. Do you think people are waiting for permission?
I think so. I think especially when you look at traditional media platforms, you would sit and think the people you'd see on the television who gets invited to talk, who gets invited to conferences to stand on stages, for example. So it is a case of you've got to make yourself stand out there. And the shortcut to that is having head of, CEO of.
To a point, but just because you've got a fancy title doesn't mean
you're good at it. No.
I mean, the wonderful Angharad Truman created that booklet.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, which again, I got a lot of, mostly deserved. But there are people on that list who I think just put their name there because they wanted to see the name on the list, but they don't actually then go out there and I need, if you're going to come on, if I've got to invite you on the sofa or invite, I organise lots of webinars. If you don't prove to me that you're good, how can I know that you're good?
No, exactly. Quite. But we are more attuned to listen to the people who are higher up. And there are so many, like, for example, with Agents Together, I've got a mentee and she really struggles to find a platform to network, not just digitally. She's really good digitally, but especially face-to-face at events because the invitation isn't automatically extended. You have to kind of, in the same way that it is the higher up that you get.
But again, your proof of the fact is that you put yourself out there and now I've gone up the proverbial ladder, if there is such a thing as a ladder.
It's proof that it's possible, but it's not easy.
I mean,
definitely.
I mean, look at me. My highest position was branch manager. I know that I got made redundant from that, and now for some reason people put me on a pedestal
Well,
just because I put myself
you
out there.
put yourself out there. Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
it's all very good, Natalie, saying put yourself out there, but where if I was a neg or a valuer, what would I be creating? Because it's all about content, isn't it?
Well, it's about you've got to have credible content. You've got to know what you're talking about for a start.
What are you
You've
going to talk
got
about?
to have stories, haven't you? What your experience is. So, for example, you have boardroom conversations. There's a problem with recruitment, for example. We can't get the right people into the roles, and you're sat in a corporate boardroom going, well, where's the problem? If you're going to sit in that boardroom and look down on people and just go, well, I don't know, everything worked for me on my anybody who has worked their way up has had a different journey, a different experience to people who are down there now, because the way society works changes, the way
Mm,
work changes, the
mm,
expectations of, say, millennials has changed compared with Gen
mm.
X, and Gen Z is coming up and they've got different expectations. So if you're here as a Gen Xer looking, going, oh, what's happening? I don't understand what's going down here.
Just
You
put a
don't
bit
ask.
avocado on toast.
Put a bit of avocado on it. Yeah, we'll give them
Do you know I found that?
Avo Wednesdays.
Do you know I do love avocado on toast with fashion. Only found it a few years ago. But no, all joking aside, that's very good. What bosses? But let's just say my name is Floss,
Mm-hmm,
the neg,
mm-hmm.
or Jim. No, that's not Toby or something.
Yeah,
What
what be
what are 20-year-olds called nowadays? Toby or Floss, whatever,
yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
What message? What advice? I mean, I have got my thoughts, but I'm asking yours.
Okay. So if you're a neg, I think you can demonstrate that you've got that passion and that capacity by building your own personal brand, even if the company that you're working for doesn't necessarily support or have a space
Yep,
for you.
and it's interesting is don't ask your boss for permission
No, show.
because if they say yes and you mess it up, they'll take the blame, and if you get it good, you take the glory. So the
Yeah,
boss is so you just start. You
just
don't
do
need
it.
to
Absolutely. Don't wait for permission anymore. Just
because you can
do it.
set up your own Insta account or your
Mhm.
Facebook. Okay, but answer the question: what type of things? You said stories. Come on, expand a bit
Okay.
more on that one.
So what are the barriers? We've got a lot of women, for example, at the minute who go through really passionate about their careers, really credible. They have children, and suddenly you've got a stumbling block that women tradition. I was listening to Mary Portis's book on audio over the
Mhm.
weekend. I did a lot of driving. Traditionally, women will out earn men until the point of motherhood. And then because they have the children, they have maternity leave is easier for and longer for a
Yeah.
mother. So you take that step back, you then behind getting back into it. There isn't the flexible working readily available. So we need to have these conversations about why is that a barrier? How can we overcome that? There's a 5 hour club that is on LinkedIn. The woman posted a picture of her kid asleep in the back of the car. It was her first LinkedIn post back after extended maternity period. That absolutely exploded with tens of thousands of likes, with comment after comment after comment after comment. So it's clearly a narrative that's affecting a lot of families
How is
that talking
that?
about it.
How is that going to prove I'm a better agent?
But it depends on the conversations. It depends on who your audience is.
But to get, I'm a neg. I'm a neg in, I don't know, in Cambridge.
Mhm.
What is me talking about the problems of motherhood going to help me be a better letting agent?
Okay, well then we'll take it a different way. If you're a neg and you want to talk about your consumer audience and you want to show how using a better neg is better for the consumer, make things easier. Use this conversation, use those experiences. What issues how are those people coming across and how can you help them? When people look at social media and go, it's all about ego, actually the best social media isn't. You're not. There's Donald Miller has a book, Build a Story Brand.
Yes, great book.
It is a really good book. And he says, you're not the Harry Potter when it comes to social media. You are Dumbledore. You're not Luke Skywalker.
Your
You're
Obi-Wan,
Yoda.
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan.
Kenobi.
You are there to guide
Yeah,
and show
you're the
and put
guide. You're not the
people,
hero.
no, not the hero at all. And you are empowering your audience to say, I can help you, I can help steer you.
Well, it's interesting. You steal the words straight out of my mind. If someone says to me, "What if I need to grow my personal brand?
Mm.
What should I do?" Just be helpful.
Yeah, be a guide, be helpful, show.
That's why we do these videos.
Absolutely, because it's not about me. It's
Okay.
about what's
The,
happening
the,
and
the,
how you can
the
approach
message is
it.
more important than the messenger. The
Definitely.
thing is, though, by producing a great message, you as a messenger will bask in the light.
Absolutely. You look at Toby Martin's content, it's genius because he entertains, but he also informs
Educates,
and
yeah.
he educates. Absolutely.
And he attracts landlords to his agency.
He does. He does. Just suddenly, because you're visible and you're consistent and you're showing up.
Consistent. That's a killer one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And the more time you've got on your hands, the less you've got to say. And then the more you've got to say, the less time you've got. So it's a real balance and a struggle to get that right. But if you focus on it, it spirals because the more ideas ping and grow.
So basically, what we're saying to conclude this is if you are, well, you perceive yourself towards the bottom end of the ladder and want to rise up and be listened to and your voice heard, create helpful content which educates and or entertains or a bit of both, and people will be naturally attracted to you, and from that your brand will grow, the trust will grow, and from that you will get more business and anything else you want in life.
Absolutely.
There you go. Thank you for your time today, Natalie.
Thank you.